Hi and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at a camera made in the former USSR, and that is a camera made by the Lomo company, and it is the Cosmic 35. It's a viewfinder camera made between 1963 and 1971. It's a pretty much all plastic camera apart from a few little metal bits. So let's have a look at it, see what it does, how much it costs, and later on in the video what sort of pictures it takes. And so here it is, the Cosmic 35. It was called the Smena 8 in Russia, but for all the English speaking countries it was called the Cosmic 35, and certainly was in England, and in other countries it was also known as the Global 35. It has a 3-element f4 40mm lens, and it goes from f4 to f6, f8, f11 and the smallest aperture of f16. In order to adjust the aperture you have to move this ring here. It's a bit fiddly, but on this one it moves quite smoothly, so you can set your aperture depending on the conditions. It's also got an LEV value here from 4 to 8, and you can use a light meter to give you an LEV value. Usually some of the old light meters will do that for you. The closest focus is at 3 feet and all the way up to infinity, and it's almost a 360-degree movement of the lens to get to your infinity mark. As you can see here, the shutter is cocked in order to fire, and you can actually take multiple exposures. The film is advanced here and it will stop at the next frame, but without filming it, it just carries on round. The shutter speeds go from 1/15th of a second all the way up to a 2/50th of a second, and it's a 3-blade leaf shutter. You've also got a bulb setting there. It's got a flash sync port here, and it's also got a self timer, and on this one it does actually work, although it's a bit slow. On the top here you've got your ISO setting, although that's just an indication, and you've got, once you've loaded your film and you've advanced a couple of frames, you can set the indicator here to 0 to know how many exposures you've actually taken. As you can see, unusually the grip is on the left, and I found that quite awkward to use, to be honest, but I suppose you get used to it. But what I've found is that once I've advanced and you've cocked the shutter and then you start to focus, you automatically hold the camera like that, and as you release the shutter your finger catches, and then you've pretty much ruined one of your frames by overexposing it. Now you do get used to that. I know I've only shot one roll of film through this camera, but after ruining a couple of shots I got used to it and remembered to keep my fingers out of the way. But it is something that's a bit of a pain at times. So as I said, this is the film advance, and once you've got a film in it, it does automatically stop at the next frame. It's got a cold shoe, and there is your flash connection there. In order to open the camera, you just pull down on that lever and open, and the whole back comes off. There you've got your spool, which you take your film over and load into. Right, let's have a look at inside it and have a look at the leaf shutter. There we go. It's on bulb setting. I'll leave the back off the camera while I show you the rewind mechanism. And it's a little bit counterintuitive in a way, but before you're able to actually rewind the film, you've got to release the lock, and that is done by pushing in and rotating the shutter release. And if you have a look here, just there, let's turn it round, you may just be able to see that red dot there, and also there's a red dot on the top of the camera, and you need to press in the lever and twist, and that locks down the shutter lever, and it also acts as a film release and allows you to rewind. Unfortunately, on this camera, the shutter release or the film rewind release doesn't work, so I had to take the back off the film in a dark bag and pull the film out, and then rewind it onto the developing reel. But also it says here there's an arrow to show you which way to rewind, so you wouldn't think you'd rewind it that way in the direction of the arrow, you'd think it'd be the other way. And if you look at the holder for the film cassette, you see that as you turn it counterclockwise, it actually rewinds the film, so there's obviously the gears in there to allow you to do that. So that's pretty much it for the Cosmic 35, and although it's made of plastic, it's a very hard plastic. It's not Bakelite, but it's a very hard and durable plastic. Oh, I also forgot there's a 3/8 tripod socket there, and you can also use a cable release by screwing it into the shutter release there. I thought I'd have some problems with light leaks on this one, but I certainly didn't, and all of the photographs came out without any light leaks. It's quite an enjoyable little camera to use. You just slip it in your pocket. It's just about pocketable. It's certainly very light, but I did miss a few shots because of the sort of zone focus. You've got to guess your distance, and I got most of them okay, but some I just missed. So a nice fun little camera, and although I didn't use it, I've also got, and I purchased it a few days ago, and that is a Leningrad light meter. I won't go into the workings of this at the moment, but I will in a separate video if anyone's interested, because you've got your light values there, light exposure values there. It's quite a fun little thing, and you can take incident light readings and reflective light readings. But anyway, that's for another video. And the interesting thing is that this cost me £5, and also the camera cost me £5. And apart from the film rewind release not working properly, I'll have to have a look at that. You've got a nice little setup for a tenner. So there we go. That is the Cosmic 35. I put a roll of FP4 Plus expired in 2007 through it. Probably not the best film to choose being expired as you first roll through a new camera, but that's what I laid my hands on, and I developed it in 1+50 Rodinal, I can't remember the amount of time I developed it for, but I'll put it in the description. All of the images you're about to see were scanned on a Epson 500, and they were only adjusted in Lightroom for exposure. Everything else is as it came out of the developing tank. So, okay, that's enough of me rambling on. Let's get to the photos. I hope you've enjoyed that little video. There'll be lots more to come. I'm hoping to increase the number of videos I do over the coming months to say one every week or so. If there's anything you'd like to see more on things like this, the light meters, other quirky cameras, I've got a reasonable collection at the moment and I'm still adding to it. I do have a couple of digital cameras, and I am starting to shoot old M42 mounts or other mounts on it. So if you'd like to see more along those lines with old lenses on digital cameras, let me know. So if you've liked what you've seen, please like and subscribe. As I say, there's lots more to come, and thanks for watching.